trouble. Fire, burn, and cauldron, oh!
As for the charges of adultery and high treason, how say you?
Since what I am to say must be but that which contradicts my accusation, and testimony on my part none other but what comes from myself, it shall scarce boot me to say not guilty. Mine integrity being counted falsehood shall, as I express it, be so received. But thus, if divine powers behold our human actions as they do, I doubt it not then, but innocence shall make false accusations blush and tyranny tremble at patience.
You will not own it.
More than mistress of which comes to me in name of fault, I must not at all acknowledge. For Polixenes, with whom I am accused, I do confess I loved him, as in honor he required, with such a love as might become a lady like me, with a love even such, so and no other but yourself commanded, as it was yours. Now, for conspiracy, I know not how it tastes, though it be dished for me to try how.
You knew of his departure, as you know what you have undertaken to do in his absence.
Sir, you speak a language I understand not. My life stands in the level of your dreams, which I lay down.
Your actions are my dreams. You had a bastard by Polixenes, and I'm aggrieved at... You were past all shame. Those of your fact are so past all truth, which to confirms more than denies. For as that brat has been cast out, life to itself, no father owning it. For this indeed more criminal in me than it. So thou shalt feel our justice, in whose easiest passage look for no less than death.
Sir, spare your threats. To me life can be no commodity. The crown and comfort of my life, your favor I do give lost, for I do feel it gone, but know not how it went. My second comfort, and first fruits of my body, in his presence I am barred like one infectious. My third joy, starred most unluckily, is from my breast, the innocent milk in its most innocent mouth, hailed out to murder, myself on every post proclaimed as strumpet, with immodest hatred the child-bed privilege denied, which longs to women of all fashion. Now tell me, my liege, what blessings I have here alive that I should fear to die. Therefore proceed. But yet hear this. If I shall be condemned upon surmises, all proofs sleeping else but what your jealousies awake, I tell you, 'tis rigor, and not law. Your honors all, I do refer me to the oracle. Apollo, be my judge.
Well, Shylock, shall we be beholding to you?
Signor Antonio, many a times and oft, in the Rialto, you've rated me on my monies and my usances. Still, I've borne it with a patient shrug. The sufferance is the badge of all our tribe. You call me a misbeliever, a cutthroat dog. You spit on my Jewish gabardine. And all for Yusuf, which is my own. Now it appears you need my help. You say to me, Shylock, we would have monies. You who void your room upon my beard and foot me as you spurn a stranger cur. Over your threshold, monies is your suit. What should I say to you? Should I not say has a dog money? Is it possible a cur can lend out 3,000 ducats? Or should I bend low in a bondsman's key, with bated breath and whispering humbleness say this? Yes, sir, you spit on me Wednesday last. Another time you called me dog. After these courtesies, I'll lend you thus much money.
I am as like to call thee so again, to spit on thee again, to spurn thee too. Thou wilt lend this money, lend it notice to thy friend, for when did friendship take a breed of barren metal from his friend? But lend it rather to thine enemy, who if he break thou mayst with better face exact the penalty.
Look how you storm. I would be friends with you and have your love. Forget the stains that you have shamed me with, and take no usance of my monies. and you'll not hear this kind I offer.
This were kindness.
This kindness I will show. Go with me to the notary. Seal your single bond. And if you repay me not on such a day, such sums as sums that are expressed in the condition, but the fortune be nominated from an equal pound of your fair flesh, to be cut off of what part of your body that pleases me.
Content in faith, I'll seal to such a bond and say there is much kindness in you.
Double toil and trouble, fire, burning, cauldron, bubble.
Thus, what with the war, what with the sweat, what with the gallows, what with poverty, I am custom shrunk. How now, what's the news with you?
Yonder man is carried to prison.
Well, what has he done?
A woman
But what's his offense?
groping for trouts in a peculiar river.
What is a maid with child by him?
But there's a woman that was made by him. You have not heard of the proclamation, have you?
What proclamation, man?
All houses in the suburbs of Vienna must be plucked down.
But what should become of those in the city?
They shall stand for seed. They had gone down too, but a wise burgher put in for them.
But shall all our houses of resort in the suburbs be pulled down?
To the ground, mistress.
There's a change indeed in the Commonwealth. What shall become of me?
Fear not you. Good counsels lack no clients. Though you change your place, you need not change your trade. I'll be your tapster still. Courage, there will be pity taken on you. You have won out your eyes almost in the service. You will be considered.
What's to do here, Thomas Tapster? Let us withdraw.
Now, sister, what's the comfort?
Whereas all comforts are, most good indeed. Lord Angelo, having affairs to heaven, intends you for his swift ambassador, where you shall be an everlasting leisure. Therefore your best appointment make with the king. Tomorrow you set on.
But is there no remedy?
None. There's such a remedy as to save a head, to cleave a heart in twain.
But is there any?
Yes, brother, you may live. There is a devilish mercy in the judge. If you implore it, that will free your life, but fetter you till death.
Perpetual durance?
Aye, just perpetual durance, a restraint, though all the world's vastity you have to a determined scope.
But in what nature?
In such a one as you consenting to it, would bar your owner from that throne you bear and leave you naked.
Let me know the point.
Oh, I do fear thee, Claudio, and I quake. Lest thou feverous luxuries entertain, and 6 or 7 winters more respect than a perpetual honor. Darest thou die? The sense of death is most in apprehension, and the poor beetle that we tread upon in corporal sufferings finds a pang as great as when a giant dies.
Why give you me this shame? Think you I can a resolution fetch from flowery tenderness? If I must die, I will encounter darkness as a bride, and will hug it in mine arms.
There's faith, my brother. There my father's grave did utter for the boys.
No.
Yes, thou must die. Thou art too noble to conserve a life in base appliances. This ad were sent to deputy, who settled passage and delivered word meets youth in the head, and follies doth in you as falcon doth the fowl, is yet a devil. He's filled with being cast, he would appear upon as deep as hell.
The Prenzi Angelo.
Oh, this cunning livery of hell. They damn this body to invest and cover in princely guards. Dost thou think, Claudio? If I would yield him my virginity, thou mightest be free.
Oh, heavens. It cannot be.
Yes, I would give it thee from this rank offense, so to offend him still. This night is the time that I should do what I abhor to name, or else thou diest tomorrow.
Thou shalt not do it.
Oh, whereupon my life, I will throw it down for your deliverance as frankly as I can.
Thanks, dear Isabel.
As I remember, Adam, it was upon this fashion bequeathed me by will but pour 1,000 crowns, and as thou sayest, charge my brother on his blessing to breed me well. And there begins my sadness. My brother Jocks, he keeps at school, and report speaks goldenly of his prophet. For my part, he keeps me rustically at home, or to speak more properly, stays me at home, unkempt. For call you that keeping for a gentleman of my birth that differs not from the stalling of an ox. His horses are bred better, for besides that they are taught with their feeding, they are taught their manage, and to that end their riders dearly hired. But I, his brother, gain nothing under him but growth, for which the animals on the dunghills are as much bound to him as I.
Be ready, Claudio, for your death tomorrow.
Yes. Has he in him affections that make him bite the law if he knows if you would force it? Sure, it is no sin, or of the deadly seven it is the least.
Which is the least?
If it were damnable, he being so wise, why would he, for the momentary trip, be preferably fined? Oh, Isabel,
What says my brother?
death is a fearful thing.
And shame lie by hateful.
Aye, but to die, and go we know not where to lie in cold obstruction, and to rot, this sensible warm motion to become a kneaded clod, with a delighted spirit to bathe in fiery floods, or to reside in thrilling region of thick-ribbed ice, to be imprisoned in the viewless winds, and blown with restless violence round about the pendant world. Would it be worse than those that lawless and uncertain thought imagine howling 'tis too horrible?
And besides this nothing that he so plentifully gives me, the something that nature actually gave me, his continence seems to take from me. He lets me feed with his hinds, bars me the place of a brother, and as so much of him lies, minds my gentility with my education. This is it, Adam. This is it that grieves me. And the spirit of my father, which I think is within me, begins to mutiny against this certitude. I will no longer endure it, though yet I know no wise remedy how to avoid it.
Thrice the brinded cat hath mewed.
Thrice and once the hedge pig whined.
The harpier cries, 'tis time, 'tis time.
The lay of Benny Snick. In the cauldron boil and bake. Eye of newt, toe of frog, wool of bat, tongue of dog, adder's fork and blind worm's sting, lizard's leg and howlet's wing, for a charm of powerful trouble, like a hell frost, boil and bubble.
I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, but only overwhelming ambition, which overleaps itself and falls on the other. How now? What news?
He is almost supped. Why have you left the chamber?
Hath he asked for me?
Know you not he has.
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late, and I have bought gold in opinion from all sorts of people, which would be worn now in its newest glory, now cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Have it slept since, and wakes it now to look so green and pale, when it did so freely? From this time such I count thy love. Art thou afeard to be the same in thine own act and valor as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have that which thou esteemest the ornament of life, and though a coward in thine own esteem, letting I dare not, wait upon I would, like the poor cat adage?
Prithee, peace! I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none.
Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witch's mummy maw and gulf of the ravined salt sea shark, root of hemlock digged in the dark, liver of last-speaking Jew, gall of goat and slips of yew slivered in the moon's eclipse, nose of Turk and Tartar's lips, finger of the birth-strangled babe ditch delivered by a drab, make the gruel thick and slab. Add thereto the tiger's chaudron for the ingredients of our cauldron.
Out, down, spot. Out, I say. Out. 1, 2. It's time to do it. Hell is murky. 5, my lord, 5. A soldier and a fear. What need we fear? Who knows it when none can call our power to account? Who knew the old man to have so much blood in him?
What beast was it then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. To be more than what you were, you would be so much more the man. Nor time nor place did then a dare, and yet you would make both. They have made themselves, and that their fitness now does unmake you. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from his boneless gums and dashed the brains out had I so sworn as you have done to this.
We should fail.
We fail? Stick your courage, and will not fail. When Duncan is asleep, whereto the rather shall his day's hard journey soundly invite him, his 2 chamberlains will I, with wine and wassail, so convince that memory, the warder of the brain, should be fume, and the receipt of reason a limbeck only. When in swinish sleep their drenched natures lie as in their death, what cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers, who shall bear the guilt of our great quell?
Bring forth men children only, for thy undaunted mettle should compose nothing but males. Will it not be received when we have marked with blood those sleepy 2 of his own chamber, and used their very daggers, that they have done it?
Who dares receive it other, as we shall make our griefs and clamor roar upon his death?
I'm settled and bent up, each corporal agent to this terrible feat.
The Thane of Hyde had a wife. Where is she now? Will these hands ne'er be clean? Oh, no more of that, my lord, no more! You spoil all with this starting. Here's the smell of blood yet. Will all the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand?
Away, and mark the time with fairest show. False face must hide what the false heart doth know.
Man is enemy to virginity. How can we barricade it against him?
Keep him out.
But here says, in our virginity though valiant to the defense, yet is weak. And fought for some warlike resistance.
There is none. Man, sitting down before you, will undermine you and blow you up.
We burn daylight. Read, read. Perceive how I might be knighted. I shall think the worst of fat men, as long as I have an eye to make difference in men's liking. In the end,
What
in the truth of his words. But they do no more adhere and keep place together than the 100th Psalm to the tune of green sleeves. How shall I be revenged on him? I think the best way is to entertain him with hope, till the wicked fire of lust melts him in his own grease. Have you ever heard the like?
Letter for letter, but that the name of page and word differ. To thine own comfort in this mystery of ill opinions, here's the twin brother of thy letter. But let thine inherit first, for I protest mine never shall. I warrant he hath 1,000 of these, writ with blank spaces for different names. Sure more, but these are of the 2nd edition. He cares not what he puts in the press. If he would put us too, well, I'll find you 20 lascivious turtles, ere one chaste man.
Bless our poor virginity against underminers and daughters. Is there no military policy how virgins may grow up men?
Virginity being blown down, man will quickly be blown up. Marry, blowing him down again with the reach yourselves made, you lose your city. It is not politic in the commonwealth of nature to preserve virginity. Loss of virginity is rational increase, and there was never virgin got till virginity was first lost. It's too cold a companion away with.
Why, these are the very same, the very words, the very hand. What doth he think of us?
Nay, I know not, unless he finds some strain in me that I know not myself. He never would have boarded me in his fury.
Boarding, calling you it? I'll be sure to keep him above deck.
And so will I, if he come under my hatches, I'll never to see again. Let's be revenged upon him. Give him a show of, appoint him a meeting and give him a show of comfort in his own suit. And then lead him on with fine baited delay until he hath pawned his horses to mine host of the garter.
I shall consent to act any villainy against him that may not sully the charitiness of our honesty. Oh, if my husband saw this letter, it would give him eternal food for his jealousy.
Look where he comes.
This is the excellent foppery of the world. Oh, Edgar. Pat, he comes like the catastrophe of the old comedy.